Welcome to Franchise Addicts, a podcast that is usually covering every film in a given franchise, but this week is bringing you an episode on a brand new movie not associated with a franchise. My name is Luke.
And I'm excited. I'm also Chris, but I'm excited about this movie we're talking about today. Luke, what is it?
This week we are doing a special episode for the brand new serial killer thriller, Strange Darling. Directed and written by JT Mollner, starring Willa Fitzgerald and Kyle Gallner, with producer and cinematographer Giovanni Ribisi.
Giovanni. This is such a good movie. So for those out there, Luke heard about this movie, and I know it wasn't hidden at all, but not a huge movie. We definitely, but he brought it up. He said, I've heard good things. Don't even read anything about this, Chris. We went to it last night. We had to go to a theater that was a little further away. This is not necessarily playing everywhere, and we saw it. And I gotta say, one of my favorite movies of the year. Absolutely, one of the best movie-going experiences I have had this year by far. It's a great film. Great recommendation, Luke. We had to get on the podcast. We had to recommend it to everybody out there. This is something you got to see.
Absolutely. Yeah, this was a very small movie that came out this past weekend, and I think it only made about $1 million in theaters. We were happy to support it on a Tuesday night.
Sure.
At the Majestic in Brookfield,
Wisconsin.
Which Google Maps claims is in Waukesha, but it's in Brookfield.
I don't trust it.
I don't know. Not Milwaukee, but...
We were glad to give our $5 to JT Mollner and company. Yeah. But
it's a fantastic movie. This fits
well-deserved.
Right into Chris and I's kind of niche type of movie that we enjoy going to. That's not a big blockbuster.
Yeah, as Luke, you've said it last night, this was a wonderful... piece of evil artistic evil art, something like that.
Yeah, it's an art house piece.
Yes,
that uses the genre of the serial killer, not really crime but just bloody thriller.
Yes, with elements of exploitation movies maybe, and definitely just takes that and there's a turn, there's a twist. We're not going to get into it right now. We eventually will. We'll give a little alarm before that happens, but you want to go into it blind, and it's got some great, just the shots are great, the score is great, but then these two lead performances. Essentially, it's just two people, the whole movie, right? You've got Willa Fitzgerald, and you've got Kyle Gallner.
Yep.
Gallner. I had seen Kyle Gallner before, but I had never seen Willa Fitzgerald, and she is amazing. Like, she's just going for it. Amazing performance.
Again, this is a tour de force performance. Yes. By someone that you've never really seen give a performance like this before.
Yeah, within the first 5 minutes, you're like, "What? It's remarkable. It's everything you want." It's not done in it's non-sequential order.
Yeah,
how you say that?
I can get into the overview for the movie, non-spoiler overview of it. I did want to point out that the film does specifically tells the audience that this was shot on 35 millimeter.
It definitely does.
Film.
This
is not digital. This is film. This is the old school. This is a classic. This is the physical medium that is film. So you get that extra little feel to every single shot.
Yeah.
And
looks good.
And again, I said it at the top, but Giovanni Ribisi, who, seen in movies for the last 20, 30 years.
What's the last movie you saw with Giovanni?
I watched Saving Private Ryan recently, and he's the medic in that.
Okay.
Very good.
Yeah.
I like his turn as the bad guy in Gone in 60 Seconds. But he's one of those guys that he'll show up and stuff now and again, and you're like, oh, I like me some Giovanni Ribisi. But this is his first credited cinematography role. He's friends with JT Mollner, the director. and put some money up for it as a producer, and really wanted this to get done. And man, for someone first time doing cinematography for a full-length film, this is some really beautiful work by Giovanni.
Sneaky Pete, sneaky good.
Yeah. Glad you looked that up. Just to
I did no, but I watched that. I watched some of that show. I don't believe I finished Sneaky Pete. No disrespect to Pete or his sneakiness, but I did. I do recall that show. Like a Showtime show or something. It's all right.
All right, so here's the non-spoiler overview of the film. The movie, told in 6 parts, begins with our main characters at the end of a long night, but at the beginning of their one-night stand. Told non-sequentially, the story follows the final day of a wanted serial killer and the killing spree that ends their 2-year reign of terror in the Pacific Northwest.
They tell you that right away. It's a nice voiceover. There's text. And then it just begins, and yeah, it's out of order. I believe you start on
chapter 3.
You go 3, then it's like 5, then 1, all over the place. And that at first you're like, oh, are they just kind of doing a Tarantino thing where it's just going to be kind of disorienting because it's done at different parts? But everything is done with such intention. Everything. Up to the clothes the character is wearing. The first time we see her in the opening shot, later on that's like, oh, well, where did they get those things? Again, not getting into spoilers yet, but it's all such a perfectly put together puzzle. It's fun. It goes by. How long is this movie? I didn't even check.
I believe it's listed at 1 hour and 37 minutes.
Perfect. Does not it goes by really nicely.
I saw some people reviewing this and say it dragged a little.
I don't think so.
No way.
There was no, and we listened to
There are some scenes that, like, the director, even in the interview that I heard with him, admits to letting them breathe a little bit, but I don't think there's, like, deadness to any of those scenes.
Not at all. I was invested fully the whole time. I really can't think of, it all is pretty tight. Now, I don't know, maybe are they, the only part, well, maybe we'll get into that, but there are some character scenes. A really beautiful one that's with these tight shots and this blue light. That basically is the beginning of this date. Now, does that kind of meander a little bit? Sure, but on purpose, and I was super into it. I thought that was one of my favorite parts of the movie. There's definitely a few. The cinematography. The acting, the performances, the way it's put together, the writing, the plot, it's all there. It's all there, baby. You got to go see Strange Darling. It's like we were almost paid by them, but we're not. We paid them our total of $10 between us.
Yeah, definitely well worth it. I think this is one of the best movies of the year released so far.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not going to be like an Oscar contender or anything like that, but from a just go to the movie theater, get your world rocked for 1 hour and 30 minutes, it does the job.
And Willa Fitzgerald, her performance, I mean, yeah, you can't nominate. It's not Oscar, I know, but like it's really good. It's
one of those where
really
you wish that a movie like this could get Oscar consideration, but it just won't.
Yeah, no, not at all, for many reasons. But it's great. Anything else that we want to get into?
So I wanted to bring up a couple of movies that we thought were very similar to this. So if you're like, oh, I don't know anything about this movie, we would recommend don't learn anything about it beyond what we've just already said before you go into it. Just let it be a surprise for what it is. But Chris and I mentioned a couple of movies that we thought this was like. Little bit of Reservoir Dogs. You talked about Tarantino before.
I'll say that. I'll also say Death Proof, which is super underrated in my
but
opinion.
The grindhouse nature of it.
I love Death Proof, but anyways.
I thought of Badlands, which is a Terrence Malick movie, I believe starring Martin Sheen, which follows a serial killer in North Dakota or South Dakota, one of those Dakotas.
One of the Dakotas.
And kind of his last rampage. And this is, it doesn't spoil it that this is a serial killer movie. It is.
Yeah.
So yeah, Badlands with Malik. That was definitely, Malik has his own style. This is definitely a different style, but similar story line. And any other movies that this? Oh, I was gonna talk about the Ty West with X and Pearl.
Yeah, you brought that up right away.
Yeah, so if you've seen those movies at all, and if you enjoy those movies, this is kind of in the same vein, the same genre. A filmmaker that doesn't have a lot of past movies to go back to. That's kind of making his first big stamp. Had a script that everyone in Hollywood basically was like, "Ooh, I like this," and decided to do it himself, directing.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of the Maxine trilogy. Maxine was good for what it was. Obviously the weakest of the three, but still a fun time. But I also went into, by the time I saw Pearl, I had expectations from X, and I love Pearl's great, X is great. Luke, you maybe like them a little less than I do.
I like almost all of the X. I think, actually, now that I think about it, the first half hour is kind of boring, but it ramps up. It gets a lot better. I like the last 30 minutes of Pearl.
Mia Goth just going nuts.
But there's definitely parts of both of those movies that I think are brilliant.
Yeah, it's great. Now again, I didn't go into Strange Darling with any expectations. So maybe if I would have went in thinking, "Oh, this is going to be like the best," maybe my reaction would have been different. But I went in with nothing, and so I go in and say, "You know what? My initial watching of Strange Darling was better than X or Pearl. Great movies." I also went into it with some expectation, but it was just an equally absolutely mesmerizing, explosive female lead performance, in this case by Willa Fitzgerald. So, potentially a new Scream Queen to compete with Mia.
Absolutely. All right, I don't think we can talk much more about the movie without spoiling it.
Away.
Go watch it. Come back after this short break, and we'll get into the rest of the movie, Chris.
Let's do it. Spoilers ahead.
So we start with Chapter 3, Will You Help Me Please, which begins with the Willa Fitzgerald character. I'm going to get her
Do you think that's her real name?
Willa Fitzgerald?
Yeah.
Now that I've mixed it up with the famous R&B singer, Ella Fitzgerald, jazz R&B singer.
Yeah.
I wonder. I didn't look into that. I didn't know research on that.
I do follow her on social media now, though. I will tell you that.
Yeah, I bet you do. But there's this wide shot of her running through a field.
Yeah.
Wearing red scrubs, and there appears to be an injury to the left side of her face.
Mm-hmm.
And we do a tight zoom in as the song that you heard at the top of this episode, Love Hurts, plays.
Yeah, and you've got this huge font that introduces our characters before we even get the title of the movie. And with the slow motion and the emotion that she's wearing on her face, amazing.
She is terrified.
It's just awesome. And that whole scene where she's essentially being hunted, and so it says.
Yeah, so there's a lot of cutting back and forth that occurs between her character and the Kyle Gallner character.
The demon. So we've got the lady, and they introduce.
There's title cards where they pause on each of the main characters and put their character names underneath.
She's the lady, he's the demon. We go on, we get the title, and this chase ensues. And like right away, the first scene where I was just like, holy shit, especially with her, with Willa's acting, is when she is hiding in the woods, smokes a cigarette. Well, she finds a little hut that like some kids have used for tomfoolery, gets a bottle of vodka and a pack of cigarettes, and cleans her very deep wound, and then has a cigarette, and just like the pain and the way she sells all of that is fucking incredible. And then she has a cigarette afterwards, which is just, kind of a little weird, but also just like a choice that was made. Like, okay, she's gonna have half of a cigarette and then go back to running. Weird, but okay.
I mean, it's a fantastic, part of this chase scene. I will say, Chris, that quarter-filled Fleischmann's bottle that she finds out there, she takes that first gulp of it.
Yeah.
Doesn't go down smooth.
Never does.
Pours way too much of it on her ear for, what is needed to clean the wound.
She really goes
and
for
then
it.
She fucking pours the rest out of it, and the alcoholic in me was like, what are you doing? You're going to be in way more pain. You're going to need
just
the rest of that drink.
Be smart. Take it with you. It's only going to help.
Why are you pouring it on the ground?
It's just wasteful.
Perfectly good vodka.
You now deserve to die. You've committed a crime by
at that point I started cheering for the demon.
Yeah. The demon, by the way, who is chasing her in a truck doing blow.
Oh, just barreling down these mountain highways.
Just sniffing out of a bag. So you're like, this guy's insane.
At not even really sniffing. He is like lifting the bag so that it pops up into his nose. This guy is he's on all the blow.
Yeah, and so it's this vicious chase scene, and
he at one point tries to run her over when he shoots her car and causes her to run off the road, and then she's trying to cross the road, and he goes barreling towards her and tries to hit her with his truck. So he's not in a great state of mind. He's in full demon mode.
Yeah, and then it progresses. Now, I mean, I don't know if we want to do it like a scene for scene here.
Not really, but so chapter 3 ends after she finishes running through the field, and you see where she's running to, which is a fenced-in property that has a house on it. And she approaches the house, and there's speakers all over this property that are playing
megaphones.
Yeah, but they're playing. I believe it's Coast to Coast Radio, which is like the UFO. These guys are more Sasquatch believers than UFOs, but I'm sure they believe in UFOs also. And it's just playing Coast to Coast Radio, so it's just people getting interviewed about crazy things that they've seen.
Yeah.
And it's just being projected over this entire property. So the house she's approaching to find refuge, we're expecting some weird people to show up.
And you know what? I think it does, that choice, is it like these things that are done to just kind of disarm you. I don't know. No, that's not the right word. To confuse you, or just to be like, what the fuck is this? Why is this happening? Are there speakers that are megaphones that are playing this radio? Like, it's like this specific choice that it's interesting because clearly, it's made for a reason, but it just kind of throws you off, but also like makes you lean in more to what's going on. You're more interested, even if it's ultimately that is kind of I don't know if you call it a red herring, but it doesn't ultimately have too much to do with what's happening.
So, I mean, it's just setting us up for what we're supposed to expect, but the movie has also told us that this is the 3rd chapter. So we don't know what happened previously. We know there's going to be 6 chapters told to us. We are in the middle of the book currently. And the end of this chapter is she knocks on the door and faints into the arm of the couple that lives in the house there. We then get into chapter 5. So we are jumping farther ahead, basically to the end of the story, or at least, right the penultimate end to the story. And now our main focus is on Kyle Garner as the demon, going through the house with his gun,
hunting her in the house,
trying to find the lady.
So, it's a kind of an extension. It plays off of, like, okay, well, we're missing a little information, like, like scene missing from the 9 Inch Nails Closer video, but that's okay. We're going to continue on. We think we get the picture. It's continuing.
As he's going through the house, we're cutting back to where Willa Fitzgerald, she we can see when they cut to her that she's in an enclosed kind of box thing. And the demon is going through and shooting different kind of closed box looking things. So we know that he's thinking correctly about like where she's probably hiding. And every time he does it, we don't know if that's the right one or not. The first two, not correct. But he's continuing to go through the house. So we're getting the landscape of the house. We're trying to find the people that, you know, she fell into the arms of. They're apparently not running around the house or anything like that. It's very quiet, very still. And then I believe the end of this is he finally goes in. Well, he finally goes into the kitchen, and you see Ed Begley Jr.'s character, who's the old man that's one of the residents of the home, is dead on the ground.
Yep, you see he's dead. You don't know how he got there, and he's going to. He seems crazy because he's here. Kitty is the name of the chapter. Every time that he goes to shoot, he seems crazy, unhinged, and you want to say something? Kitty. There it is. Like he does not seem. He seems very menacing, insane, and like he's on the prowl. He's hunting, and he finally shoots the freezer, shoots her, pulls her out. End of the chapter.
Yeah, and
she's not dead.
I suppose the assumption right now as the viewer is that we jump to this chapter after the demon has already killed the couple that's in the house, and we saw the result of that with Ed Begley Jr. being dead on the ground there.
Yeah.
So, fully in, we've got our serial killer, the demon. We've got his victim, the lady that has run away from him, no longer successfully. He has fired the gun, shot her. She has been maimed, and he has pulled her out to do God knows what to her. We then jump to Chapter 1.
Chapter 1.
So we're finally at the start of our story, and we see Kyle Garner, the demon, and Will Fitzgerald sitting in a truck in
front of a blue motel sign,
having a discussion after basically picking each other up at a bar. Yeah. You know, they've been drinking, doing whatever, getting to know each other. We find out that Kyle Garner's character is married, but in a bad relationship. He's already explained this to the Will Fitzgerald character. And so they're having a conversation basically where she's trying to take it slow and like, hey, I don't want to, go get a hotel room immediately and bang ya. Like, let's kind of just hang out in the truck here and talk a little bit. And she goes into her full, like, let me just make sure that this guy is chill.
Yeah.
And we get two incredible lines that kind of set us up for where we're going to be going with this. So we get her first line where she explains what it's like to be a woman and pick up a guy who she wants to just have, casual sex with.
Do you have any idea the kind of risks a woman like me takes every time she agrees to have a little fun?
Never thought about it that way.
Of course you haven't. You're not a woman.
So, again, we're getting, like, this girl just wanted to have a little bit of fun, and she found the wrong guy.
Yep.
And then she asks him now, this is going to be the iconic question from this movie. It's the iconic line, and this is going to be from the trailer, so there is a little bit of the back end of it. But this is
bear with us.
How it is in the movie. Or not exactly how it is in the movie, but
mostly.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to ask you a question. Are you a serial killer?
What did you just say?
So she asks him the question, are you a serial killer? He is kind of taken aback by this, but, again, it's it's a little bit of flirting. It's a little bit of her just being very cautious. And Chris, this entire scene, this back and forth conversation that they have is so good. It's shot unbelievably with the blue neon light coming in through the truck. The tight framing of the faces as they're talking back and forth. And then, it'll cut back to seeing them from behind together. But then when they are talking, it's cutting close to each one as they're having the conversation.
It's
so you're just really getting everything from the actors is in their faces and in the way they're delivering lines.
It's shot so beautifully. It's kind of, that was, when you realize that there's more to this than it's just going to be a serial killer movie. I get, or maybe it's not, but you there's a lot of skill at work here, I guess. And the way that they're framing everything, it's very artistic. I guess maybe that's when you probably had inclinations that it was artistic before with the whole opening sequence, but when we get here, it's like no. This is some artistic film shit happening. The way that her cheekbones are in the frame and just shot is amazing. It looks beautiful and alluring, and that takes on a different meaning as the movie goes on. At first we're watching this, we're just like, oh my gosh, with this beautiful poor girl. And of course, so I think...
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
but it's great, and it's the use of color and the use of cinematography, and it's great. That's all I gotta say. That's it. It's awesome. And
so that conversation concludes. We stay in chapter 1, and they finally make it to the hotel room. They finally come to comfortability with each other. He convinces her to, let's hit the bedroom.
Hit it up.
Let's make this happen.
Some choking.
It cuts to him, and you don't see Willa below, and he's choking her. And then you find out that this is all consensual, and that they've talked about this, and this is her way of getting off. And he's not doing a good enough job.
Choke me harder.
So they just keep on... They can't quite connect. He can't quite do it for her.
Yeah. And
she just keeps on changing her mind and stuff. And then he seemingly snaps and starts, putting the handcuffs back on. She's, locked into the bed. Yeah. And he just starts fucking saying the dirtiest, meanest, serial killer type shit to her. And she fucking starts losing it.
Yeah, crying, all that.
I believe he concludes it with, I'm going to cut you from your lips to your other lips.
Yeah.
And she's
not thrilled.
Terrified.
Yeah, she's not, and it's a great scene. It works so good because, they're both good actors, but you're totally believing, oh man, he's flipping, he's insane. She's losing her mind. She's terrified, and I believed every bit of it.
And then she says, Mr. Snuffleupagus.
Which was also, I think the name of the chapter is Mr. Snuffle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah, but so she says it. That's the safe word. It was all part of the
we
plan.
cut back to the truck, and we see the part of the conversation that we missed from where they were talking before to when they got into the room, which was her requesting of him for this particular dominating sex act. Mm-hmm. And instructing him that, hey, no matter how much of a fight that I put up, just keep going until I say our safe word. Anything else, inbounds, go for it. I think Kyle Garner's pretty funny when he's like, yeah, I've always wanted to be an actor. I think I got this.
I was in a U.S. Cellular commercial.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. And I'm like, all right, you go, Kyle.
Yeah, no, there's moments that are pretty funny, and so we're scene for scening. That's okay.
That's fine.
What else? So I think around that time it goes. We cut to
the first
chapter.
30 minutes of the movie, because we're now getting into the most spoilery part where the movie turns.
Yeah.
Is we've been like, oh, the demon is the serial killer. This is how it all started. And up until she says Mr. Snuffleupagus, it seems like the trajectory has been correct. We're like, oh, this was he finally, charmed her in the truck, convinced her to go, convinced her to do the handcuffs on the bed and stuff like that, and was kind of playing along, and then got crazy.
And there's also the cool scene where I think it's after they do all that, where she goes to like maybe go in for somewhat of a tender kiss or something, and we see this quick flash of a vision of a demon, and she's taken aback, and that I think that happens, and it doesn't. But like, so essentially, it's like, oh my gosh, she has a sense. She sensed that this guy is a fucked up demon, and she could just see it, and it's a quick. But so again, like we're getting at it. You're thinking to yourself, okay, more is being revealed. I think this is how more of where I was thinking it was going.
And we leave them there and then go to chapter 4, which is titled The Mountain People. So we get to immediately from where we started the movie to when she gets to the front door. We now pick up from there, and we get introduced to the couple that lives in this house. A very funny scene of them making breakfast.
A crazy breakfast.
Using all the butter in the world.
So much. I was going to barf
they
at the
used
use of
a
butter.
stick of butter to fry 2 eggs.
Oh.
And poured all of that over sausage, and they made the pancakes in the sausage grease. And they're an eclectic couple.
And they giggle at each other.
Yeah.
They just look at each other, and they're putting together a puzzle of Scott Baio.
These two are more in love than any two people have ever been. They're having competitions about how many pieces in the puzzle they are ahead of each other.
That's how I want the end of my life to be. Just without the crazy people coming to the door.
Shoot me in the head if that's
oh, man. They're just loving it. They're just looking with it. Oh, man. So... then the turn happens, right? The turn happens because she comes to the door. She needs the help. They start to give her the help. They're being the nice hippies that they are, and they say,
well, Ed Begley Jr. wanted to clarify with her that he wasn't a hippie. He was more of a biker guy.
That's true. He was a biker guy. He's got a wooden leg. So, you got some fun. And again,
it's like if you ride those things for 65 years, it's just a matter of time. Doesn't matter how good of a rider you are.
And that's another thing. That's what makes this a good movie. That's what makes this a better than average movie.
You see those characters for like 3 minutes, and you know everything about them.
And it's funny, and there's a lived in world. There's like a backstory for those characters. It's weird the way they shoot the breakfast. They go right to the breakfast. Like, what the fuck is with this weird super butter breakfast?
These crazy conspiracy hippie nuts think that she's being chased by a Sasquatch.
Squatch was in the trunk. You wouldn't be here or something.
Yeah, and they like can't believe that it's just some guy that's chasing her that she's running away from, and
so just like weird creative decisions that build the story
that don't last any longer than they need to. Like I said, you see him for 3 minutes, you know everything about him. You get that they're trying to be helpful, a little sinister when she's going to get the Percocet or whatever to help with the pain that Will Fitzgerald is feeling, but you think it's all in the up and up, and then Ed Begley Jr. goes to get the cops involved, and that's when the trouble starts.
Really quickly, before we get to the twist, so these weird decisions or these quirky things, right? I think that a movie could do this and do it the wrong way, and it would suck. They hit with those characters. They hit with the quirky breakfast and all that. Because it seems like the director and the people involved know what they're doing. If they tried to do this, there's a different version of this movie where it's just stupid and takes you out of it, and it doesn't need to be there.
Yeah, this is good script writing because there's no holes that they're using comedy to fill the holes with. Mm-hmm. This is a tight story where everything in it is important for one reason or another. Maybe it is just to make you laugh, but it's in there for a reason. It's written in there. It's not like, we're kind of missing 5 minutes here. Someone came up with a goofy idea. Let's throw that in there. Everything is purposeful. Everything means something. And it just shows how tight the script is.
Yeah.
So
the twist. The
twist happens when we are following the wife come down the steps with the pills that she's gotten, and She opens the door, and there's her husband, bloody-faced and all, with a knife in his chest, and Willa Fitzgerald standing gleefully by. She has killed the man.
She killed the man.
And now we come to the realization that maybe the lady is not all we thought she was. And we go to Chapter 2.
Which is when we find out so much.
This one is titled, Do You Party?
Yeah.
Everybody's favorite question.
I'm Rod, and I like to party.
Which means that the drugs are coming out. In one of her other attempts to, like, foil him trying to have sex with her, she, like, stops him and busts out the cocaine.
Says it makes her horny. We start to see, at this point, we already, like, I figured out after when she kills Ed Begley Jr., like, okay, no, she's the killer. And so now we see this. And this is true. This is the twist, of course. She is the killer. It is not Kyle. It is not the demon. The demon is the demon to her. She is the serial killer. And we see how she, goes about this. She gives him ketamine instead of coke. She, kind of toys with him as far as, like, having sex. The condoms are there. She's like, oh, you're pretty eager, aren't you? And kind of, whatever.
He tries to leave because the ketamine hasn't kicked in yet. And she just, very patiently waits for him to pass out in the hallway and drag him back in. Mounts him with a knife and starts going to work.
Yeah, carves into him for like 15 minutes. And then is going to kill him.
Yeah, but not until she has that really well lit, it's this red light in the bathroom as she's sitting on the john and looking through his shit. Like she's got his wallet and she's looking through that, steals his money. He's got, a couple bucks in there, and she's flipping through the wallet and finds out he's a cop.
He's a cop.
So now she really has to kill him.
Yeah.
And something that we didn't mention before is that when they're in the hotel, at some point you find, like, it is shown to you that the demon character, Kyle Garner, has a gun on his ankle.
Yep. Which now makes sense because he's a cop. Before we think that he's doing that because he's a killer, he has guns because he's a killer. No, he's a cop.
Because he's a cop. And she comes out of the bathroom, mounts him to do the final kill, and a shot is fired, and her ear is blown the fuck off.
And yeah, so he
misses
through
every other shot after that because he is still pretty fucked up.
He's in a K-hole, as they say.
Yeah.
And so then we get to essentially what's going to be that last chase. So the
Willa Fitzgerald character gets out. She is now in full, like, I need to convince every single person that I run into now that this guy is trying to kill me, which he is, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
But
she goes into victim mode. She's definitely done this many times before, and
she runs into the office of the motel that they're at and basically holds up the person working behind the counter and a nurse that is in there. She kills the person behind the counter because she's about to call the cops, and then at knife point steals the scrubs because she is half naked. Mostly naked at this point, but steals the scrubs, and now we know where she got the scrubs that she's wearing in the chase scene through the field.
Yep. All of it's the puzzle that comes together. Oh, now we know why her ear is wounded. We know why she's wearing the red scrubs. We know why he's doing the coke, because he does the coke to try and wake himself up from the ketamine. So now it all makes sense, and a whole new narrative is presented to us in past tense. We've already seen it. It takes on a whole new meaning, and that is fucking awesome.
Yeah, and we understand now that when cops start to get involved, she goes crazy and will just kill you, which is why she killed Ed Begley Jr. when he went for the phone later on. And then we come back to Who's Gary Gilmore, Chapter 6, so our last chapter. where we are now back to the aftermath of her getting shot in the ice chest where the demon has found her. And he handcuffs her to that ice chest. And then we get the end of the movie.
So we get the last scene. It's a square off. What's the word? It's a face off. It's a face off between those two. She has this long emotional reaction about not wanting to die. She acts her ass off. There's fear and terror in her eyes. The demon won't kill her, which does make you think like, well, he was gonna run her over before. He seemed a little murderous before. If I can give any small criticism, it was be like, oh, before he seemed totally ready to kill her. Then in this part, it seems like he gets his senses, but that's okay.
Yeah, and he's also called his cop friend, told him that he's in trouble, so you can't really like have everyone dead at the house and not have her be there to at least give the guilt to.
Yeah.
And help explain the situation, because if he's just in a house full of dead people, he looks like the bad guy. And you find out that that's kind of what Willa Fitzgerald has decided is going to be her getaway, is that she's just going to blame all this shit on him.
Blame it on the man.
And she's got her bear spray that she took with her. We watched her get into the ice chest holding the bear spray, and she sprays the bear spray into his face. He comes dangerously close to her. She grabs him and bites his jugular vein off.
Insane.
And it's fucking gnarly.
It's so, yeah, and he dies.
Fully with the bite happens. He starts splurting blood. He falls over. We cut back to her face, just bloody chin and everything, and then she spits out part of his neck. And oh man,
it's brutal. In all the good ways, obviously horrible, but like in the horrific. And then her character is just sitting there, and the costume design too. She puts on the leather jacket before she goes into the hippie guy before she goes into so she's got a leather jacket, red scrubs, blood's coming down her mouth, and then she tricks the cops that arrive.
Well, after grabbing the ankle gun off of the demon, his leg, so that she's armed and dangerous, but then assumes the position of a woman who was sexually assaulted by this crazy guy who we find out has had drug issues in the past. She, weepingly says to the cops, like, he was all coked up and went crazy. Mm-hmm. And the cop that's the guy's friend is kind of like, God damn it.
Not again.
I knew this was going to happen.
Back on it.
So he's kind of buying it. There's a female cop there that's going like, believe all victims. Like, you got to, she's clearly the victim here. And the male cop is kind of, if you didn't know what was happening, kind of being a douche about it. And is like,
make sure
we got to do this by the book. Like, I've been cleaning up murder scenes since you were in diapers. Lady.
Believe men.
Yeah. And very funny because they get her into the cop car, fully as the victim and everything. And she pulls out the gun, and the male cop gets to just be like, I fucking told you.
Jesus.
And yeah.
I believe he said, so I mean they have it both ways with the sexism in those roles, because he says like, you dumb bitch.
Yeah.
So it's not like they are saying like, yeah, he probably has his problematic tendencies as well, but look, like, everyone's fucked, at least in this story. Like, everyone's
wrong. All your assumptions are wrong,
and
everything you want to believe isn't true. And
it's uplifting.
It just continues through the last 5 minutes of the movie, where you're just like, she's gonna get away with this. She's gonna rampage her way through this. She's gonna continue to play the victim card. She's gonna pick people off on her way back to getting out of this. She kills the other cop because she sees a demon face in the mirror. Sends the other one off into the woods, and then sees a truck approaching and immediately pulls the victim card again. The lady gets out of the truck. oh, you poor baby, like we gotta fix this, blah 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 blah. And she just ran into the wrong mountain lady this time.
Mountain Lady was packing. She looks Willa Fitzgerald looks, I guess, at her reflection. At first, I thought she saw something in the car and has this awful reaction. I guess it's just looking at her reflection in the rearview mirror. And then she gets shot. She's gonna shoot the woman, but she gets shot first.
Yeah, they have the shootout basically, and she pulled slower.
Yeah. And then she slowly dies, and the camera stays on her for an uncomfortably long time. As this wonderful haunting music by Charlotte Gainsborough plays. She does a lot of songs in the score. Charlotte Gainsborough is wonderful. She is actually the lead in Antichrist. She's in a lot of Lars von Trier movies. Charlotte Gainsborough. She's in Antichrist. She's the lead. She's also in the Nymphomaniac Part 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Daughter of Serge Gainsborough. Does songs with Beck, and anyways, wonderful. Look her up.
Yeah,
but
the score in this movie is excellent.
She does, and it's it's better to know the devil you know than the devil you don't, or whatever that song is playing. And she slowly dies. The camera fades to essentially almost like a black and white, and it's beautifully done. It's horrific. It's great.
This movie is haunting. It's beautiful. And it does something that a lot of these types of movies don't do, which is, you want to be tricked. You want to, have a twist that you didn't see coming. But to do that, often the writer and director have to lie to you a little bit. And this movie refuses to lie to you. It tells you that the characters' names, the demon and the lady, those are both accurate statements about those characters.
And we didn't mention that she turns out to be a serial killer named the Electric Lady. She carves EL into the guy's chest. That's kind of inconsequential. But again, why she is the lady. She is that specific serial killer lady.
And he's the demon because when she snaps and kills people, it is because she sees demon faces on her victims' faces.
I'd be interested to snapshot that to see what that quick shot actually is, but really creepy stuff, just like a blood person, a blood face. I don't know. But yeah, it doesn't lie to you.
The entire way through, even though you're getting the story out of order, there's nothing like hidden in the shots that you're not quite getting. It's just a piece of editing where it just decides, all right, you get to know this much, now we'll stop. And then it comes through exactly where it's supposed to and fills in the rest of the story. This is a story that if it was presented to you linearly would make total and complete sense. And when it's broken up perfectly into those same parts. There's nothing taken away from, nothing added to. So it's one of those puzzle movies where you can just put it together super easily as it's going along and you get it. It makes sense. There's nothing at the end of the movie where like, oh, okay, I get it. You've gotten it all the way through.
Yeah, it's a slow reveal. There doesn't need to be any aha Shyamalan twist.
Nope.
And it's so much better. It would have been a fine movie if shot in in linear fashion.
Sequential.
Sequential. That's what I'm looking for. But it's so much better because of the skillful way that it's chopped up like it is. It's great. I want to give it. Everyone should go see it. I'm so excited to see what Willa Fitzgerald does next. What JT
Mollner.
JT Mollner.
Oh, and then Kyle Gallner, the lead of the.
He's already got a little steam. But yeah, I'm so excited to see what all these people do next. These are some rising stars, and I am just so happy that I got out to have this film-going experience. I'm going to give this, I would say everyone go out, see it. Hopefully if you're listening to this spoiler section, you already did. And I'm going to give it a quick rating. Yeah?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, I'm going to give this a 9.2.
Wow. That's high praise.
It is.
Oh,
I'm
man.
going for it. I don't care. Just fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to do more of these new release movies in the future, which I hope we will, as we see fit. Obviously, we're not going to do ones that we don't really like. Man, 9.2 is a high bar.
Okay, I'll do 9.1.
I'm going to give it,
Go lower.
I will be the realist here. I'll give it an 8.6. It's a extremely good movie. I don't think a 9 would be like it's one of the best movies I've ever seen. It's
Sure.
an extremely good movie. It's probably my favorite movie I've seen this
year.
summer.
I think, summer. I was
Dune
thinking,
2 was really good.
Oh yeah. No, Dune 2 is good. I was trying to think back of all those movies, and I thought of Spring.
I enjoyed this more than Dune 2, to be fair.
See, that's it.
I
I
think
thought
it-
of all
but
the
it's like-
experiences.
It's an hour and 37-minute perfect piece of art that
Yeah,
I'll
so-
watch over and over and over again.
so it
and love.
counts.
And I'll recommend this movie to everyone.
So it fucking counts.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's
It's
why
a-
9.1. I'm gonna.
All right.
Best movie of the year.
It's an 8.6. That's just where I have to be.
That's
I mean,
fine.
it's not Alien. Shout out to our Alien podcast, which I gave Alien was the only movie in that franchise that I gave a 9 because it is one of the best movies of all time.
I just want to be. He gives everything 10s. He just loves shit. Everything. 10 out of 10. Transformers. 10 out of 10. I love it. It was fun. You just don't have to think that much. All right, guys. This has been great.
This movie absolutely rips. It's so fucking perfect.
Check it out, and we will be back. We'll be back soon with the Batman. Real excited for that. Check it out. Our Batman franchise series starts next. Until then, have a great Labor Day.
Be kind to those that you have one-night stands with.
And remember...
I don't understand.
Siri, getting in on it. Siri doesn't understand. Siri's a serial killer. She doesn't understand being kind to those... Oh, gosh.
I'm just trying to give good advice, Siri, for all of our single people out there listening to this.
Wow. All right.
And you ladies out there, you keep asking those men that you go out on dates with if they're serial killers. I don't think an actual serial killer is going to tell you that they are in fact a serial killer to your face. But, keep asking the question.
See you next time.